Week 8, we're feeling great. We're feeling good. Couple games, all conference play. We'll see who comes out on top. Kenton always has one game that he might jack up. We'll talk about all of that on today's show.
You are Locked On ACC, your daily podcast on the Atlantic Coast Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Everybody, welcome to today's edition of Locked On ACC. I'm your host, Candace Cooper, joined by Kenton Gibbs of Locked On Wolfpack. Each and every day, you can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you download, subscribe to the pod on our YouTube page, and talk to us in our community page, where we keep tabs on all of our fans' comments. Each and every Wednesday, we have a little showcase where we like to read those aloud and talk through all of your feelings, because we appreciate you here on the show. Kenton, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to get into these games, and I think it's kind of interesting that you say Kenton always has one game that he jacks up. Seeing as how the fans nor yourself have a week where they went undefeated, but I do. So let's get into it.
Aren't you one very clever? Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOnCollege to get started. Kenton likes to hold on to the week 1 undefeated victory, and that is all well and good. But let's talk about week 8 here. It is a very exciting time for those middle-of-the-road teams, those must-win type moments, those they better figure it out, and they better figure it out fast type of programs. We're going to talk about each and every game, and we're going to talk about our fans' votes. He said, she said, and then the fans say, and make our predictions. That way we can have it all ready to go. So, Kenton, are you ready?
Oh, absolutely. Let's get into it, because I think that the fans got it mostly right this time around, but I think I got one or two in there that's going to surprise them a little bit.
Well, that seems not likely. Let's talk about the noon game. ACC Network, Boston College and Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets are at home taking on Boston College. Not sure if you had a chance to talk to AJ, but both teams are 3-3, looking to crack one more, to get over that 500 hump. Who's it going to be?
So I'm just going to tell y'all outright, okay? Georgia Tech is going to take care of Boston College in this game.
Wow.
Simply because I look at Georgia Tech and I see this as a team that with Haynes King, they can throw the ball around the yard. And although Boston College does a great job of ball control and keeping their opponents off the field, I still feel like they'll need trunk plays from somebody not named Castellanos to win this game, something I don't think they have the ability to get. Give me Georgia Tech. Give me the Yellow Jackets.
Well, I think Castellanos is looking to get a winning streak going for the Eagles. It always helps when you are feeling solid at home. Unfortunately, they'll be on the road, and this is not really a road type of, warrior team. However, the consistency of Georgia Tech lacks, right? Do you think about the series? It's 7-4 for Georgia Tech, but, something tells me this is still a very inconsistent program over there in Atlanta.
So you got Boston College this week?
I didn't say that. I'm just letting you know where I'm having a hard time.
Well, who are you picking?
When it's all said and done, I think that Haynes King is going to pull it out. I don't think that Boston College's defense really has enough stuff to maintain a 4-quarter hootenanny. So I'm going to give it to Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
What did the fans say?
I will say this. The fans also picked Georgia Tech. They went along with both of us, 79% picking Georgia Tech. I will say this. Georgia Tech and some of their numbers and some of the things about them are a little skewed, because they played some very, very tough games out of conference to start the season in terms of playing Ole Miss and in terms of walking in and losing to a bad Bowling Green team. You kind of, it kind of doesn't go the same way for Boston College, but also Boston College they played two of the toughest, if not top teams in the conference already. So, it'll be an interesting one for sure. But all three of us, you, I, and the fans, all pick Georgia Tech.
Well, see, Georgia Tech is really good on the road, but they're not great at home. They're looking for their first home conference win since October 2028 of 2022. So could Boston College play spoiler? Not hard for this Georgia Tech team, but Brent Key definitely has maybe it in him to get this group going.
Yeah, and I think that they've learned to not overlook anybody because they're not good enough to overlook anybody, including Bowling Green. So,
Let's talk about Pitt and Wake Forest. Wake Forest coming off an L. Pitt coming off a dub. 2-4 for the Pittsburgh Panthers. 3-3 for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Two teams that the identity, the crisis is there, right? They could be good.
Yeah.
But, they met in the title game just 2 years ago, and it's not the same programs that we're talking about here. However, somebody got to come out with the victory.
Yeah. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. But with that being said, I think the team that prevailed in that last game will also prevail in this one because they have a young man by the name of M.J. Devonshire on that defense. And when the ball finds its way into his hands, he finds his way into the end zone. I have a sneaky suspicion that Mitch is going to give one to him. He's going to give one right to him. He's going to throw it so that he couldn't have handed it better to him if he was next to him. If he is, in fact, the starter for this game, as the guy that he was replaced with was injured in the last game. So we'll see. We'll see. But I'm going to go with Narduzzi in that defense.
Now, it's crazy you say that because when you talk about Pitt, where offensively do you think they're going to overshadow this really good Wake Forest defense?
I mean, here's the thing.
When really good is a stretch. Good, solid defense.
Yeah. For Wake Forest standards, this is a really good defense. This is one of the better defenses that they've seen in recent history. But I would give that to just don't turn the ball over. Let's just keep this thing. Let's just play good, solid ball. We don't need to do anything crazy. We don't need anybody to go out here and be a superstar. Chevreau is, or how do I pronounce his name? The quarterback?
Christian Velio.
Velio. Okay. Velio is, he's a good game manager. He's a quarterback that you can win with. He's not a quarterback you have to win in spite of. And I think that that'll be enough for them to get it done against Wake Forest.
But Justice Ellison and his offense, if Mitch Griffiths can't get it done, I think the run game for Wake Forest could prevail.
I mean, here's the biggest thing for me. You know what I always say. What way are you trending? And I look at these two teams, and I see trending in opposite directions. I see after loss is what they're going through right now. And I see a Pitt team that just put off a major upset. But that does give you pause to say, like, is this a letdown week? Do they go back to being who they were? Or did they actually turn a corner? I believe that Pitt has turned a corner. We shall see.
I'm going to go Wake Forest.
Okay. All right.
What did the fans say? Are you stuck? Are you with me?
I got glitched out a little bit there.
GP, you with me?
You said you're going to go Wake Forest. I'm with you. You said you're going to go Wake Forest. And what did you say after that?
What did the fans say?
The fans agree with me. 66% went with Pitt.
Okay. Well, maybe it's a glitch in the whole game, and I'm going to get this one.
We'll see.
Who knows? I'm excited about it. Let's talk about this 6:30 game on our favorite network, the CW, Virginia and North Carolina. Okay. I think that the Tar Heels are in a position to roll. But damn it, if they don't squat the bed against a 1-5, I don't know if I'll ever talk to them again.
Give me Tony. I got UVA pulling off the. I'm joking. I don't like the Tar Heels, but I'm
Say it with your chest.
I'm not that delusional. I do agree that Virginia is probably going to make this game much closer than it should be, but I think that North Carolina pulls off the win here.
If Miami couldn't make it close, I don't think that Virginia is going to make this close.
Okay. All right. I think the Virginia.
What about Virginia even gives you an inkling that it's going to be close, unless it's UNC that messes it up?
Have we not seen UNC mess it up multiple times in very recent history against a team like this UVA team?
Years in the past, I'm talking about this current team. We've seen enough tape. You talk about week 4. We know in teams we're in week 8, dog. We're on week 8. This team has been pretty dang good and not jacking things up.
Again, I did not say they were going to lose this game. I said it is very possible for this team to make the game closer than it should be, which we have seen from these teams in the past. I don't know why we acting like this is a brand new thing.
But this is a brand new year, and I think it's a really turn the page type. You talk about turning page where people are trending.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina's trending in 7-0. It's giving 7-0.
Yeah, for sure. It's giving 7-0, and it's still North Carolina.
You think it's going to be an ugly 7-0?
Like I said, I think that they will win this game. I think that they will roll. I think they most likely will roll. But I'm saying do not be surprised if Virginia is hanging around in the fourth quarter. You're like, why is this a one-possession game? Why is this
Tony Muskett playing? Because that's the case. No.
Yeah, no, I don't. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about Tony Muskett that I got to give him credit for. He is just a steady Eddie guy. He just keeps that thing rolling. He doesn't make anything spectacular happen, but he's also not going to doom you with the terrible mistakes. So I mean, hey, I wouldn't be surprised to see again this Virginia team and Malik Washington and company make this real tough on UNC.
I think that Drake Maye is just going to have a reminder game of like he's him because he hasn't had that game yet to me. But maybe this is going to be the one. Okay. We got 2 more games to go over here, and they're big ones, if I do say so myself. But first, let's pay some bills with our friends at FanDuel. Snap into action this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, make sure that you do so now. Go ahead and get yourself started with spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOnCollege and kick off the NFL season. Continue the NFL season. FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. Talking about our friends here at Betterhelp, we all know that at times you could just need a little more privacy, a little more confidentiality, and definitely some anonymity. There it is. That's my big word of the day. If you've benefited from therapy, feel free to share your experience. Make sure that you talk through all the good things that have been part of a BetterHelp when needed. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Go to betterhelp.com right now /LockedOnCollege to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com /LockedOnCollege. Kenton, we're talking through week 8 here and probably arguably the biggest game, both top 25 teams playing, Florida State and, surprisingly, the Duke Blue Devils. Now, Duke is a team that, everyone's, in years past would certainly circle on the calendar and be like, easy dub. Not so much this go round. Yes, we don't know if Riley Leonard is going to start or make that comeback. I don't know that I would play him first game back against Florida State in Tallahassee, but crazier things have happened. Elko is a different bunch, but this 5-1 Duke team, that defense, we've seen this Florida State struggle. Could this be the one?
Duke's defense really is special. I think that Duke really is. Thank you for muting me there. I think that Duke really is special defense, but I think that Keon Coleman is more special. I think that man is I would be surprised if he lasts past number 15 in the upcoming draft that he's eligible to enter into, and that's for good reason. He's got it all. He has it all. And speaking of injuries, how is Johnny Wilson going to look on the opposite side of him, right? Is he going to be back, or what's the deal with that? But with that being said, I truly think that Florida State, they have enough to make this game. If Riley Leonard is not there, you can beat NC State with 4 completions. You will not beat Florida State with that. And Beelan will have to be special in order to win this game, which I don't think that he is at this point in time. So give me the Noles.
By how much?
With Riley Leonard, if he's healthy, I'd say 7 to 10. With a hobble Riley Leonard, I'd say 7 to 14. With Beelan, 14 to 21.
I said 17-21 on a podcast that I was on for Florida State. Here's my biggest thing. I think that Florida State's offense is good, but I think that defense of Duke's is pretty damn good. And I think they're going to get them caught up in a position that maybe helps them for an advantage sake in terms of Jordan Waters and Mr. Moore. And I think that it's just something to consider when talking about a Duke team that doesn't mess up often, and they're able to execute very soundly.
Yeah, I mean, this Duke team, they don't beat themselves. And so that's a lot of the battle in college football. And here's the thing. Would I be surprised if they were to beat Florida State? Not really. I wouldn't be like, oh my God, this is the upset of the century. However, with that being said, this Florida State team, again, they've got stars at pretty much every level. They've got stars across the board at almost every level. And, it's hard to bet against that. If you telling me Jordan Travis or Beelan the fourth, that's not a hard battle for me. If you're telling me, I think Jordan Waters may be the best back in this game, I would say that's a little bit of a push between him and Benson. If you're telling me offensive line, I think Duke has a decided advantage offensive line-wise. They got one of the best. Again, like I said going into the Duke game, physical. They're going to beat you up. They're going to put the paws on you. They got a decided advantage there. However, nearly everywhere else, I think, would go to Florida State in terms of wide receiver core. That's Florida State by a mile. Defensive line, that's closer, but Florida State. Linebacking core, I think that one's a little bit of a push. Defensive backs, I get a Florida State as well. So
it's giving upset. That's all I heard that you say. I heard advantage, Duke. It's giving upset to me.
All right. Well, if you shoot your shot, if you feel the upset, pull the trigger on the upset.
The trigger is pulled.
Okay. All right.
Pull it.
You're going to get a lot of...
Either I'm going to get, another L, or I'm going to win $300 because we're one step closer to my 10 wins.
$300 from whom?
You.
Do we have a foreign exchange student named you? What country is you from? Are they a man, woman? Or
you know how you love to keep receipts? We could pull the episode back because it's pretty much a season preview. Are you going to stand on business? Are you going to call yourself a liar?
Oh boy! Again, folks, stop teaching the elderly in your family new word. No, I'm just joking.
Elderly is crazy. You called me 36 the other day, and honestly, I couldn't meet you again.
Well, I'm just trying to tell the people the truth. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell the people the truth. But anywho, very seriously.
Who has a bald head on this show? 30. So you look more 36 than I do, joke.
Okay, well, you got more gray hairs than Storm, but I mean, if you want to say I look 36,
I have one little Cruella DeVille streak, and now you want to say I have gray hair.
Streak? You sure you don't want to go with patch? Patch.
Streak.
It's more of a patch than a streak.
I'm not proud of mine. My wisdom is great. Okay.
Yeah, very, very wise. The wisest of us all.
I will mute you again.
Anywho.
Who are you standing on? FSU?
Oh, I've got FSU. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. What's the fans say? I wouldn't be surprised.
The fans agree with that. The fans agree with me. They got FSU. This one is surprisingly not that close. 71% FSU, 29% Duke.
Well, we know we have a lot of FSU haters who listen to the show because they can't wait for their moment. So we know they are engaging. But there's also just the tradition of feeling like Duke is not a football team. So I totally hear it. It's also playing at Doak. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy way to win. But this Florida State team has looked vulnerable. And, Duke is not scared of the moment. Once you beat Clemson, you've taken that monkey off your back. Once you've held your own in a Notre Dame game that you honestly should have won. All right. I'm just saying. Now, why are you looking at me like that?
Because you got,
and your face was stuck at the worst time too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. But you got the monkey off your back against a Clemson team that ain't no Clemson football. That ain't no Clemson football. Let's just be honest with ourselves.
Here we go yet again. We'll talk about that in just a second. But first, let's talk about our friends here at Birddogs. Go to birddogs.com right now to get /LockedOnCollege or enter promo code LockedOnCollege at checkout for a free Birddogs water bottle for your order. What is Birddogs exactly? Stretch khaki shorts that are designed to fit slimmer through the thigh and leg, giving you a truly sculpted look. Birddogs fix the issue of just really stiff, restricting cotton by inventing cloud knit fabric that looks just like khaki but stretches so you get a way slimmer fit without having to sacrifice movement. Birddogs uses an anti-stink sweat wicking fabric and keeps you cool and dry all day long. Birddogs are functional for any occasion, date, evening out, pool, workout, or more. Again, go to birddogs.com /LockedOnCollege or enter promo code LockedOnCollege at checkout for your free Birddogs water bottle with your order. You don't want to take your Birddogs off, we promise you. Talking to Kenton Gibbs here, and we're getting through what is a very exciting week 8. We're going to end with a 2-4-2 teams. Miami and Clemson in Miami. Yeah. Very important game. Arguably the most important game of week 8 because it's season changing. 4-3.
I agree for both of these teams.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's 4-3 for a Clemson team that's not used to losing. Let's sigh. Not only are you lost 3 conference games, no shot at being an ACC championship, but you're sitting there saying, what's going on in the program? The portal's about to get popping. If you're Miami, you're following the Kenton train, which he's told you many times before. 1 loss turns into 2, 2 turns into 3, 3 turns into 4 where you're calling your AD.
Okay. All right. I'm glad that we got that rolling. I'm glad that we know that's all in line here. But very seriously, Miami's going to lose this football game. Miami's going to lose this football game.
Why do you say that?
They don't have a home field advantage being in Hard Rock. It's not a home field advantage. The fans don't show up. The fans aren't going to show up for this game. Miami is scared of the moment right now. They shaking their boots. They get to quaking when that moment is actually there. We thought that because of the Texas A&M team, this Miami team was ready. We thought that this Miami team was here. And lo and behold, Jimbo is just being Jimbo. That's all we got. But when the moment has come in the UNC game and the Georgia Tech game, honestly, let's just be very honest, there wasn't even a moment in the Georgia Tech game. There wasn't supposed to be a moment. They decided to make a moment, and they pissed down their leg. Do you know how hard it is to go out your way to wet the bed? That's crazy. That's crazy. Like you went to sleep in a recliner and still wet the bed. That's what Miami did there. So 2 losses turns into 3. Clemson, they're going to get it done on the road.
See, oh ye of zero faith. I think that this Miami team has had a heart-to-heart, had a look in the mirror. Yeah. I think Tyler Van Dyke is a better quarterback than Cade Klubnik.
Yeah,
I think that defense can handle Cade Klubnik. I think the biggest hurdle, and they have a strong, solid offensive line against this average, best, good, not best defense we've seen. And I think that Miami's going to pull this one off.
I'll tell you what, you picked a lot of upsets this week. This week is going to send you.
Either I am a genius or I just don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out one way or the other.
Mad men have always been called a thing or two,
Oh, Lord. Don't start that they talked about Jesus stuff on here. Don't do it. Don't.
You're only crazy till it happens. When you go for it on 4th and 1 and, you're short in inches, all the things, if you should have just kicked it or you should have gone for it, it's either way it goes.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that,
I'm going analyst. Sorry to cut you off. I'm going analytics this week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. That's wrong. I'm going heart this week. Miami's got some heart. They're gonna figure it out. Duke's got some heart. They're gonna figure it out. Wake Forest has some hearts. They're gonna get it done.
Here's the thing. That Wake Forest game is the one that I'm most unsure of. Like I am legitimately sitting here.
Stand 10 toes, buddy. This is 10 toes this week. We are 10 toes this week.
Listen, Any athletic endeavor that I'm not a part of, never going 10 toes on it. Never. The most you'll get is me to dip a toe. You understand? Dip a little toe, give my opinion, and back on out. Reserve the right to be wrong. But anyway, with that being said, the fans agree with me that Clemson is probably going to take this one on the road. But with that being said, I'm looking at this slate and I'm saying this could very easily be a week that's a make or break on this show. Because if you're right,
hello,
half of these upsets, you're right back in the game, right there.
I'm going to have to do the what? The big one if I get these right. Let's go, church. If
Listeners
I get
of this
these...
show, stop telling the 36 plus people in your family. Stop telling them these words. I'm joking. I know most of the people who listen to this show are themselves above 36. So
I'm not 36, so stop telling people that.
Oh, I'm sorry. 35. 35. Yeah, stop telling the 35 plus. If they age round, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Funny.
Most of the people who watch this show are above 40. It's all right. We love you. I'm a bald 28-year-old, so I really can't talk too much about the elderly in the family. We love you. We love you anyway.
You get these jokes off today. Get them off today because I'm reading all the rude reads next week. Just all rude comments.
I'm rude. Oh, no. I already said I'm reading the comments. I already said I'm reading the comments because you went real vitriolic with them comments that you read. So
I just want everyone to understand. He might get his little jokes off, but I promise you, let me get this Duke Miami set right here. Yeah, I'm going to come on Monday acting totally different. I just want everybody to know. Mm-hmm. I'm muting your mic all week. Just know that. If I get this Duke Miami Wake Forest upset.
If you get that trio, I'll wear a wig on this show. You understand? I'm coming hairpiece. If all three of those a toupee. I might have to have an arm bobbery on this show.
Are you going to if I get all three of these, you got to try Nutrafol. You got to order Nutrafol.
Stop.
Too far. You gotta order Nutrafol. You gotta order Nutrafol.
Too far. I was willing to go to Spirit of Halloween and get me a little wig or something like that. It's one right around the corner from me.
But a Nutrafol can help you for long-term results.
I'm happy bald. Do you know how much these barbers are charging now? Have you seen? If you see some black gloves in the ring light, you get no less than 60. No less than 60. I need me one of them old school barbers, one of the real old school barbers that you don't even know the hours they open. You just kind of fly by if it's not a Saturday, hope they're there, that type of deal. I can't do these new barbers. If you got an app that I can book on, I don't need that. Get them out of here. So I'm happy bald. I'm all right with this, okay? Bald and beautiful, baby. Bald and beautiful.
Listen, like I said, folks, he will be getting Nutrafol. Should I get all these three upsets? Really appreciate the time here.
No, I ain't. I done told you what I'm willing to put on.
I'm not only getting $300 for 10 wins. I'm getting the Nutrafol subscription. What else do you want to lose on this show? You keep going against me like I don't know what I'm talking about. I magically find a way to win.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this young woman is telling you all lies. Lies. You understand?
No, I'm a truth like ghost. Okay, don't play with me. I'm saying is
I would rather mop the ocean at Wilmington than put any hair growth serums on my head. I am good. I'm good, baby. I am happy where I'm at.
We'll see. But this is going to be make or break for the fans, Kenton and Candace. So I'm excited about that because I've been trying to get back in the game, and I think this might be the week that happens.
If you hit these games, you will be back in the game. I believe you might take the lead if you have all three of those.
Let's not be aggressive. Now you're.
No, I'm statistically speaking, you're behind by what? 4 games? If you had 3 upsets, that would mean the 3 that the fans and I got wrong, 3 that you get right. So you might be in the lead from those, or no, you'd be 1 game down, I guess. 1 game down since you're behind 4.
You pretty. All right. Let's get to next week. We're going to go over week 8. We're going to do our power rankings. We're going to get excited for basketball season. So that's just different, but hey, we roll with it. And we'll have all of the latest updates in regards to, all things ACC. So make sure you stay locked in. Follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow all of our local experts who have respective shows for your favorite schools, and check back in over the weekend. If you want to send us a little something, Kenton loves to live tweet here and there. So he will be doing that at Locked On ACC, and check it out. For Candace Cooper. Oh, sorry, shameless plug. Make sure you check out Kenton on that Locked On College Football show on Fridays. They go live from 11 to what?
Noon. 11 to noon these days.
11 to noon these days. So make sure you check that out there for Candace Cooper and Kenton Gibbs. Until next time.